Good evening, everyone. Today is the seventh day of Words of Wisdom series, and today's topic is mixed reality in Power Apps. And today's speaker is Tejus Wadbudhe, and he is currently
Hello.
He's a little intro about him. He is currently a project manager at the Internet Folks, and he is also a mentor in GDG Bhopal. So, sir is going to take the session today, and he will give some knowledge about his experience and on the topic mixed reality in Power Apps. So, over to you, sir.
Oh yeah, thank you, Sneha, for the great introduction. Oh yeah, so hello everyone. It's an immense pleasure of mine to be a host, to be a speaker today, and to speak on MR in Power Apps. And many people ask me why Power Apps, like why MR in Power Apps, why not something else? And I'm gonna tell you, it is just amazing. Like you are gonna love it. It's so like adorable and so fun. You don't use adorable with such technology, but Power Apps are so adorable and so fun, like so amazing, so easy that you're gonna love it. And that's why I wanted to share MR in Power Apps, and MR is the new experimental feature in Power Apps. So we are going to study all, we are going to learn more about that. And so let me share slide. Okay, wait. Uh, don't know which one. Isneha, can you confirm is my screen visible? My slide. Sneha. Oh, okay, great. I hope it's the right window. So yeah, we are going to start with Power Apps. It's a Microsoft tool for low code more power, and the motto of Power Apps is low code more power, and you're going to understand more about that, why Microsoft call it so. And it is an amazing tool to create more application, like without any coding experience or programming experience you can create incredible application. Like when I say incredible, it's really incredible. Like it's useful, and it's easy, it's smooth, it's adorable, as I said. So let's start with it. And today's presentation agenda will be what is Power Platforms, what is MR, and our demo on MR with Power Apps. It should be MR in Power Apps. Okay, no problem. So what is Power Platform? So Power Platform is a term for all these four tools. These four tools are the Power platforms: Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. These are the low code, more power tools by Microsoft. So they are introduced. Uh, a minute. Yep. Okay. So they are introduced by Microsoft. So anyone in this world can easily create any application and can do a task easily without any IT team. So when we are talking about Platform, you don't need any IT team. It can be a small business, it can be a clinic, it can be a shop, a shoe shop, no problem. It can be any big organization, it can be airports. We have example like Samit Sani, who was in the custom department of security and who used Power Apps, and now he runs as an IT department for the airport, and he was mentioned in the top 10 most influential list of Satya Nadella, and he has some amazing story. You should search about Samit Sani. Yeah, so let me explain what these four tools are. So first one is Power BI. Power BI is a visualizing tool. Yeah. So if you have data and you want to visualize the data, you can use Power BI, and it uses the business intelligence that you may need in your business. So you can use Power BI to create stunning reports and dashboards for your presentation, for your decision making, for um, anything that you want to visualize some data. So think about, you have a big business, like you have an e-commerce business. Now what you have different customers all around the world, and you have so much data with yourself. Now you want to visualize it. So without Power BI, what you will need, you will have to buy different softwares to create different charts and different reports and all. And then you have to you must be having some employee who are good at it, because it's not that easy to uh, check the data and make it visually appear. But with the Power BI, it is so smooth, like you can do it in minutes. You can have your Excel sheet ready, and you can make a report out of it, a visual report, and you can see how good looking these reports are. Yeah, that's the power of Power BI. And then comes Power Apps. And Power Apps, we are going to learn more in detail later in this session. But for now, it's a PaaS application that can be used to create applications. Yeah, it's Power Platform as a Service. And then there is Power Automate. As the name suggests, Power Automate automates some repeated task, like if you have to pay your employees every month. Yeah. So what you do, you use Power Automate, and it's really simple. You don't need a whole team to do that. You can do it simply, or you can say, like, I'm a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador too, and before that, it was named as Microsoft Student Partner. So we had some changes between the name and the email IDs and the teams and all. So what the team did, they used Power Automate and flowed out all the process. So now all the MSP things were converted into Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors without even touching anything manually. That's the power. So think about, you are having an organization where some repeated tasks like recharging something, paying bills, or say filling some info, like anything, data entry, some task like that. Or it can be used with Twitter or your Gmail, anything. You can connect a lots of things with Power Automate. Okay. And then there is Power Virtual Agent. As the name suggests, it is used to create chatbots. Now, why chatbots? Why we need low code? It is so simple, yeah. But actually, it's not. There is a lot of friction there. When you're creating a virtual agent, there is a lot of friction, and there is a lot of difference between the IT team and the other marketing people, and also how the way you are talking and the scale you need it, because it needs a lot of technical knowledge to create a virtual agent. But with the Power Virtual Agent, imagine you have a clinic, you are a doctor and you have a clinic. Now you may need feedback from your clients, or you may need some uh, prerequisite data for the appointment. So what you can do, you can easily create without any coding experience. All these four tools do not require any coding experience, like any, and no programming, no coding, no technical, just a bit of, if you know Office, Microsoft Office, how to use Word or Excel, you are good to go. Yep, that's the power of Power Platforms. And so with Power Virtual Agent, you can do the same. You can create some chatbots for uh, some small businesses, some big businesses, whatever you like, and then you can integrate it. And all these platforms are designed so you can integrate it with different platforms, and that's the awesomeness that Power Platform brings. It is just incredible. Okay, so now let's talk about what is MR. Yeah, you must have seen it in movies, but what is MR? So MR stands for mixed reality. What is it? So if I draw a line, a spectrum of line between where everything is digital and on the right where everything seems to be uh, real. Yeah. So on the leftmost side, there will be VR, that is virtual reality, where everything is digital. On the middle of that, there will be AR, augmented reality, where everything is digital and real too, but you can differentiate between real and uh, digital object. And on the rightmost side, there is MR, mixed reality, where everything is digital and real, but you can't differentiate between them. It is so real that if I take a ball in MR and throw it onto a table, then it will roll over the table, go to the ground, and will bounce off. That's that's the beauty of MR. Like you can do a lot more things. And here's a pictorial presentation of VR, AR, and MR. Like on the leftmost side, there is a duck, and everything is digital: the ocean and the sky. On the middle of that, there is a duck which do not know its environment, and you can differentiate between the real things and the digital things. And on the right, there is MR, where you can differentiate between the real and you can't differentiate between the real and digital things, because see how the duck is behind the table and behind the chair. That is just amazing. Yeah, so let's get to the demo. Mhm. I hope I'm audible here. Let me share another screen. Mhm. Let's hear which. Hmm. Okay. So this is the Power Platform that we are going to work on. And what you have to do, you have to go to make.powerapps.com. Just type make.powerapps.com, and I'm logged in here with my Microsoft Lunch Student Ambassador account, which give me access to Power Apps. And here's the uh, panel window which we are going to work on. So just type make.powerapps.com and it will get to on this page. So you can see there are different start from and all the things. You don't have to worry about that. Just go to create and click on canvas app from blank, and you can name it. So I will name it hack with CW Power Apps. Okay, and then you can choose between tablet or phone. I choose phone, and just press create. It may take some time to create a Power App, uh, the window uh, for Power App. And okay, so here's our panel. I don't know what to call it. Panel platform IDE. Here is our editor where we are going to design our application. And on the left side, you can see there is this hierarchy of whatever we are seeing here, and we can add component from here, insert like buttons, gallery, media, charts, and all. And here's our home, here's our view section to see something, and here are is our action if we want to power automate or something like that. Yep. So what we will do, we'll go on. Yeah, so mixed reality is currently experimental feature, means it's in preview mode, and it do not you may not see mixed reality uh, features directly on the Power App. So what you will do, you will go on files, go on advanced settings, and advanced setting, and um, down there must be some experimental features, and there is uh, wait. Yeah, there is mixed reality features, and you have to on it. Yeah, so as soon as you will on it, you will be able to see this mixed reality and three different things. Yep, and from here, this is our screen that we are going to see in our application. So how do Power Apps work? This is a fast platform, means I can create application, then I have to download a Power App application on my mobile phone, and in my mobile phone, then I will be able to use this application. So let's start making the Power Apps application. So here we are on screen one. Let's rename it to list model list AZ. A to Z. What we are going to make A to Z list of 3D model. So like for students in nursery, how are you going to teach different alphabets to them by showing them different mm, 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 different what their models, like A for apple, so you can show them apple in your mobile phone. So we are going to make a list of that, so that a nursery student can learn, and you can do a lot more things, but it was quite basic. So what I will do, this is my list is at the screen. Then I will go to gallery and I will click on vertical. Now what this vertical is, it's more like if you have seen, if you have built something in Android, the recycler view, or think it as a tab that if you open YouTube and you see different panels of images and text below, and then images, text below, images, text below. Here you can do the same. The gallery contains all the data, and you have to connect it with a data source. So uh, there are some few things that you have to make to create this application. The first thing is an Excel sheet. This Excel sheet is created by one of my team member, Fazan. So how he created it, uh, in the GitHub repository, he created a repository, PowerApps MR. And in the repository, he uh, uploaded all the 26 3D models. Okay, so what this Excel sheet will do, this will contain link of all those 3D models, and also the object name is like A for apple, B for banana, C for chair, and the images, and the images of he created another repository where he can store all the images. And on the leftmost side there is their alphabet, like E for, and here will be a image of apple, here will be the name of object, and here will be the 3D model. And you can see there is some power app ID. This is because I've previously connected it to some other source, so it's some like unique ID for power apps, so he can use it. So you create this Excel sheet and you upload it in your OneDrive. And in the OneDrive, so what you will do, you will get all the 3D models in your GitHub. And then if I go to my presentation, you can see what you have to do. You have to copy the GitHub link of all the GLB files, like Apple GLB. Then you have to remove blob from here, like blob. If you go and I click here, I can see there is a blob written over here. I have to remove it. Why? Because GitHub don't give access to some third party directly. You have to make change in a bit in the URL, and then change www.github.com to raw.github, www.raw.github-user-content.com, and uh, your URL will look like this: raw.github-user-content.com, Tejus Wadbudhe MR in Power Apps, master chair1.glb. As you can see in this sheet, sheet, yeah. As you can see, the sheet here, the 3D models are written as raw.github-user-content.com, Fazan /PowerApps MR. This is the repository name. Then there was blob. We have removed the blob, and then there is master and /apple.glb. And that's the same thing with the images. And then you have to link all those data here. And what I will do, After that is I will go to my gallery, and on the right side you can see there is a data source option. So I will click on this data source, and it will ask me with different things like entities, accounts, and all, and there is connectors. So I will go in connectors, and I can use Office 365 users, OneDrive for business, SharePoint, and there are many more. So I will use OneDrive for business. And as soon as I click on it, here it is showing Tejus Wadbudhe 06 at the rate studentambassador.com. And I will click on it. That's my ID. Wait. Oh, I hope everything's going smooth. Okay. Hmm. So as soon as I choose my OneDrive ID, I can see there are two different Excel sheet, as you can see here. Yep. So I will click on all A to Z. That's the file name. Now it will ask me for a table name. Now what's a table name? If I go in my Excel sheet and I go in design, you can see that I have named it as objects. The table name is named as object. I can change it, and you can create different tables. That will be much easier if you are having different sheets. Then I will choose this objects and will say connect, and it will take a bit of time, and yeah, voila, here is the list of all the images and the link and the alphabets, and we will change it a bit, don't worry about that. So in few steps, like we have created this application by now. If you can see, wait. Yeah, this is the application that we can use right now in our Power App mobile application. Now you can see this is a bit awkward. So what we will do, we'll go to fields and click on edit. Wait, uh, let me resize it. Yep. On the right side there is fields, and I can click on edit. As soon as I click, there are options like this one is image column, or you can say image box, and then there is this title one, where we are seeing 3D models, but that's why we are getting this link of the 3D model. That should not be the case. We should see letter here like A, and as soon as I changed it, everything every row changed, every title every tile is changed with the title A on the top, and on the subtitle we can change it to object. As you know, the object name is apple banana and the letter name is ABCD. And it is so smooth, like you're seeing this, and so smoothly we have connected an Excel sheet data to an application, and I can run it right now here. And you can see like I can use this application which is made in minutes. And isn't it just so amazing how easily we can create something with a little effort? And that's the power apps. We can create low code and more power. So now what we have to do is we have to see these objects in MR means in the real world, as well as I want to see 3D data, like 3D models inside the application. If I don't have a camera, what will I do? I want to see it in 3D models. And third thing is I want to measure things around me. Okay, so we will create um, another screen. And how? On the top of insert you can see there is a new screen option. You just click on that, and there are different options that you can choose from: calendar, email, people, I will choose blank. Okay, and there's your screen too, and I can type view in 3D. And this is the screen 2 and it's blank here. Now we have to connect both these screens, so whenever I click on this tile, I should see apple here. Now how will I see apple here? Go to gallery, no. Go to media. In the bottom there is view in 3D. Okay, what this view in 3D do? It will take my data of the 3D object link, this PowerApps MR master apple.glb, and it will show here. Mhm. Yep, please wait. And yeah, you can see this is our 3D model viewer. And you can even tilt it a bit by pressing Alt key. Mhm. As you can see that box is moving, we can do the same thing with the our 3D model. So let's go on here and select one tile, 1 volt tile, and let me see a bit of I know on select. I have to go on select the tile and go on select. There are different things like border color, what if to fill display mode, height, items, and all. So what this on select means, like what will happen when I select it, means when I will click on it. So what I want is I want to navigate to, there are two options, view in 3D and list AZ, means I don't want to be in here again. I will select view in 3D and I will separate it with comma, and I will give them a screen transition. Screen transition. I love fade. Huh. And this is my first command to navigate when I will click here. Yeah, so I will be navigated to screen 2. Then I want another thing. Yeah, so I will separate it with a semicolon, a terminator, and what I want is I want to set a variable. I want to set a model variable with, now you can see there is a list of this item dot 3D model, this item dot image, this item dot later. So what it will do, it will use those data and will set model underscore variable as the information. So now I will choose this item model dot 3D. So here simply what I did, I asked it to navigate to the second screen when clicked, and I set variable name model var uh, as the link of the 3D model. Okay, now what I can do, uh, I can go here and I can ask it like what will be the source, like what SRC, what will be the source of this data, and I can tell it to no, no, don't worry. I got a bit wrong. So yeah, on the first screen, if I play here and I click here, it will get me to a different screen. It is showing me error because the uh, Excel sheet is open. Let's play again and click empty source. The view content. Mhm. Oh, there must be some error. Let me figure it out. Mhm. I'm just checking my previous model, what the error can be. Uh, yeah, as I said, mm, okay. So here in the SRC, I have to write the model and where model underscore where. So what it will do, it will transfer the link from the first screen to the second one. So I was doing the uh, right first time. So if I go on screen one and I press play and I select, let's select check it. And now it will load in the second screen. Load. And you can see there is this jacket, the 3D model of the jacket. Yeah. And maybe you may not see it clearly, but actually the model is so detailed that you can see each fiber here. It runs more smooth on mobile phone, but yeah, the you can see the lines uh, of the jacket. If you see the model, then I can close it. Mhm. And yeah, that was why I view in 3D. Now again, one thing I can do, like we are checking 3D model, but what if I want to go back to my first screen? What I can do, I can select icons. I can go down and back. Yeah, I can select a back icon and I can place it here, and I can navigate it to the first screen on the home page when it is selected. So on the on select bar, let's say navigate to what list AZ, comma, or what we will use a screen transition. As I said, I love paid, and I can use semicolon. So now whenever I will click here, I will go to the first one. Okay. That was the simple thing. If I was making this, think about what if I was using Android Studio, or say I was using Unity, then it would have taken me hours and hours to make this application, to integrate it with the SDKs and show the tiles, and I may not be able to connect it with the same source such easily with the Excel sheet. And yeah, remember to close the Excel sheet when you are using it in the editor, because then it may cause some error. Okay, so easily we created an application which can be used to teach nursery kids to make to see 3D models by their alphabets A B C D, and you can show them and they will be able to mm, what check it by themselves, and that's the beauty. Now, one more thing what we can do is to add the mixed reality feature. Yeah, how we can see these 3D models in the real world. So what I will do, I will go here, I will click here, why I will tell you why I'm doing this, and then I will go in mixed reality and I will click on view in MR. Okay, so as you see, we have view in MR button in every tile. If I've clicked here and then added a view in MR, then it must be added in the same line of gallery. But I wanted inside every tile. That's why I clicked here and then added the view in MR. So what we can do with view in MR, I can drag it here, and every other buttons from all the tiles will be dragged and then I can choose the display type. You can see on the right there is display type as icon plus text, and I can change it to just icon, and I can resize it, and I can go here, and we have view in MR button in every tile of these 26. Uh, Now what will I do? So now we need a source. So yeah, with the source, what wherever we will click in, like if I click on Apple, I want to see the 3D model of Apple in real world. So what I will do, I will select source. It is already selected. Source from here, and okay, so sorry. And I will add this item dot 3D model like we did last time. So now every time I will click on this button, I will be uh, navigated or redirected to a page where I will be having my camera open, and I will be able to see 3D models around my room. But I can't use this feature in my laptop, so I have recorded the video in my phone, from my phone, like this is the view in MR. Mhm. As you can see, it's a bit more, beautiful, like we have created by spending a lot of time. And yeah, you can see now the phone is asking to scan the room, and the room is scanned, and now I can put a chair. Put a chair. Yeah, it asks to tap anywhere, and yeah, see, the by this we have put a chair in MR, and similarly we can do this with any other Hmm. Any other model, 3D model, like I can put Apple on the table and you will be able to see it if you are teaching a kid what is a car or what is the difference between uh, a racing car and a normal car. Or think about you have a shoe store, yeah, and you have different types of shoes. You can create different 3D models. You have company of shoes, you can create those 3D models. You can distribute to your branches, to your shops and stores, and then you can ask them to share it with the customers. So without even trying, they will be able to check the size of the shoes and the color, and the models are quite big in size, if I tell you, and they are so smooth. Like if you see that jacket, uh, whenever you will see that jacket, you can see all the lines of that jacket in the 3D model. And similar thing with uh, every other 3D model. They are quite heavy, but still it runs smoothly on Power Apps. If I had used it in some Unity or something, it may cost me a bit of time to load and all, but it's really smooth in Power Apps, and that's the beauty. And so we have done two things here. Yeah, we have viewed our object in 3D, and we have viewed our object in MR. Okay, now one more thing. What we can do, if you go, we can do measurement in MR. And what this measurement is, we can let's create a new screen and rename it to measure in MR. Uh, Measure, yeah. And here in the screen, we can add the measurement in MR button. This is actually just a button, but we are going to make it big so it looks good. Okay, and then we can change the icon to icon. No, no, it looks better this way. Okay, so here's my button. Whenever I will click here, I will be redirected to another screen with my camera open. And from the camera, I will be able to calculate the distance between different objects. And how, let me show you first how it will look like. Measure in MR, you can see there is measure in MR. I clicked on it, and now the phone is checking, and you can see there are lines like 52 centimeter, 39 centimeter, and this is for 58 centimeter. And now we will be able to show this in our table, where, wait, now you can take all the data, and you can see here what was the height, what was the length of the measurement. So once you have measured, so imagine, what you can imagine, uh, imagine you want to, you don't have a 3D model, but you have, mhm, height, width, and length of something like a carpet. Think of, like, you are in a carpet business, and now you want to use those power apps to, for your customers. So you go into their home, and you measure all the things, and you can make the exact carpet of that height and all those things. Not the height, obviously, but yeah, you can do a lot. And so we will add the table from here. We will just click on data table, and here is our data table. Drag it below, make it a little bit smaller, and drag it. Just do it. Yep. Now it needs to connect to something. Yep. Uh, so here you can see there is items. On the topmost field there is items, and there are a lot more things. Just select items, and in the items you have to write the name of your measure in MR. If you have renamed it, then you have to write measure in MR again, measure in MR1. Like the name of my button is measure in MR1. We'll choose measure in MR1 dot measure measurements, details, measurement detailed. Now what it will do, it will take all the details from what I've captured, and it will show in here. Yeah, so as you can see, what did I did wrong? Mhm. Oh, let's type again measure in MR dot measurement measurements. Come up detail measurements detail. Select. Come on, come on. Mhm. Maybe the spelling was wrong. Measurement details, and I click enter. Hopefully it should. Is there something wrong again? I don't know. But yeah, I then is that, yeah. So now I have filled items and measurement in MRs and all the details I want. But now what data do I want to show? It will collect all the data, but it will show only that we need it. So on the right hand side, we will go in fields and click on edit fields, and we will click on add fields, and there are 4 different fields we can use: height, path length, and we don't need segments, but we need unit like meters or watt, and we will use add. So here you can see the fields, the columns are added, and I will show you one more time. uh, oh, oh, yeah, yeah, I here is always magiting it. It's so simple. Yeah, if I have built this in Unity or Unreal, it would have taken a lot more time, and we are simply able to measure it. You can measure your height too, you know. Mhm. Do we have anything else to share? Okay, so that's all for MR in Power Apps, and from here you can deploy it. Okay, you can preview the app. You may not be able to preview this screen, and you can add a similar back button here, like we have added, so we can go home directly by clicking on that button, and you can make this UI more beautiful by adding images and all from the media section. Like you can add images, you can add camera, see barcode scanning, how simple it is, or you want to show video to someone. And there are a lots and lots of cases, and you can integrate the Power Apps with different tools like Azure also, or Power BI, or Power Automate, Power Virtual Agent, and you can create a really fantastic application, really incredible application. And as I said, it's so much fun. I hope you had fun with my talk, and by using Power Apps, you will have a lot more fun, because what we have built here in just I think what 40 minutes, um, it would have taken hours and hours to build something like that, and there will be flaws and all, and we didn't make any more changes in the UI. But if we had to make changes in the UI in Android Studio, or say Unity, or any other tool, it would have taken a lot more time too. Oh, so that's all from my side. I think we are open for questions, Neha.
Yeah, we have several questions. Yeah, yeah. Is
Okay,
question.
this is for Ski Kumari. Oh yeah, Ski, there's nothing you have to do. Uh, Let me go. You can let me share my screen once again. Share screen. Ba, ba. Okay. So if I go on the website, like simple website like Sketchfab, or you can download 3D models easily from Googling it. And then when you will Google, you will take the model, you have to create it in .glb format. .glb, that's what Power Apps support. So like if I use uh, check Sketchfab for downloading the model, it will give uh, the model in GLTF format, and I can use a converter like this to convert the models in GLB format, and then I can put it in the repo easily. Yeah, there is nothing like if you go in Fazan repo, there is just Power Apps MR, and there is all these 3D models named, and then he collected all the data in here, all A to Z sheet. And see, there these are just simply links and keywords. It may take a bit of time to type all this, but yeah, that's the simple process. I hope that's what you are looking for. Any reference to learn this in deep? Yeah. There is another MLSA, Hemantika. I can't type in here, but yeah, Hemantika Mitra, who have her YouTube channel, and you can use YouTube to learn a lot from Power Apps, and also the Power Apps come. Mhm. Wait, there are guides for Power Apps itself. Like if I go in the panel, and you can select on Learn, and there are guided learning tutorials, and there is also learning path. Microsoft Learn. If I go in Microsoft, just type Microsoft Learn, and you will be landed to some page like that, and you can type Power Apps. No result. Seriously. Uh-huh. Power Platform. Let's take Power Platform. Oh yeah, here it is. Power BI and data analytics. Get started with Power Apps. Introduction to Power Apps and introduction to data. Power Apps. Type it this way. Yeah, now I have 68 results related to Power Apps, and there are learning path and there are modules that you can use. And uh, how can I share? Sneha, I'm putting it in chat. Can you put that in comments?
Yes, I will.
Mhm. Yeah, these are the Power Apps platform that you can use Microsoft Learn to learn anything related to Microsoft products, and Power Apps is one of them. Okay, yeah, so it's in the comment.
Yeah, so uh, there, as I know, sorry, as I know, everyone have worked on Android apps, so they might be familiar with working with apps, and they must have some understanding about VR and AR, but might not have this concept. So this will help them a lot. So this session will be very helpful. So thank you a lot for this.
Yeah,
So
thank you for having me here, and thank you everyone for listening. And Power Apps is really amazing tool. And you know what happens? People do go with these shapes. What they do, if everyone is learning Android, they learn Android, and everyone is doing web development, and then they do web development. But few things like that, and there are so many examples like Brian Dang. If you know Brian Dang, he was a primary school teacher. He used to teach fifth class, and he came to know about Power Apps, and he was so much interested that now he's the program manager in Microsoft of Power Apps. And similarly for Samit Saini, he was this custom officer with Power Apps, because the Microsoft is so much um, mm, into Power Apps. They want to promote Power Apps so much that if you are doing a really good job, you will be able to be on top of others, because there are not so many competition, and it's really great field. And one of my friend talked to some Microsoft employee, and they told that whatever there is in HoloLens, we are going to bring it in Power Apps as much as possible, and that's the future. It may be now in preview mode, but you don't know what will happen tomorrow. So yeah, if you start today, that will be better.
yeah, thank you. And guys, we have some moderators that they will share the link in the chat box. Just give your feedback regarding our speaker, so we will forward to them as well. And just fill the form for the certificate. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.